Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial on how to SSH into AWS EC2 instances from your Windows device. SSH, or Secure Shell, is a powerful tool that allows you to connect securely to your virtual machines in the cloud. In this video, I'll walk you through the entire process step by step, from setting up your environment to connecting to your EC2 instance. We will also cover how to troubleshoot common problems you might encounter along the way, such as connection denied errors, issues with key permissions, and more. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have the knowledge and confidence to SSH into your AWS VMs and handle any issues that may arise. Let's get started. First, I will create a brand new EC2 instance. I will call this CentOS because I will use the CentOS AMI. We will select our Amazon machine image. I will search for CentOS. Click enter. Next, I will select this CentOS Stream 8 x64 x86 underscore 64 with updates. We will select subscribe on instance launch. Next, I will select the T3 micro because it falls under free tier. Next, I will create a new key pair. I will call this CentOS. Create key pair. As you can see, it downloaded a PEM file. This is going to be very important for later. Make sure you keep track of this download that just happened in the background, guys. Next, very important thing. You must select allow SSH traffic. Otherwise, the inbound connections to port 22 of your VM will not be allowed and you will not be able to remotely communicate with the VM. So this is super important, guys. And I will select anywhere, meaning any device, any IP address can send packets to port 22 on this VM. So this is super important. If you don't select this, it won't work. Next, 10 gigabytes is fine, but we're allowed up to 30. But for this demonstration, 10 is good. As it mentions here, 750 hours of T2 micro or T3 micro. I selected T3 micro, so we're in the free tier. We will click launch instance. This will take a couple of moments. Okay, after a couple of moments, the instance has been launched. We will go here. Now, the way we're going to SSH into this on a Windows device is we are going to use WSL2 in order to execute our SSH commands. I find I get problems if I use the terminal, so if you don't know how to install WSL, it's literally a 5-minute installation. I have a tutorial quickly on it, so you would literally just search turn Windows features on or off, and you would just select Windows Subsystem for Linux and Virtual Machine Platform. Then you'll click OK and restart the computer. That's all it takes. I posted a video on my channel how to install WSL and how to install Ubuntu on Windows. So for those of you who have WSL, we're gonna just open terminal. I will use the Ubuntu distro. That's what I have here. So it's opening my Ubuntu. So we're going to click on our instance. Now, a lot of you would just click connect, and we're going to go to SSH client, and we just have to follow these steps carefully. So remember that PEM file we downloaded. We can find it in our downloads of our device. There it is. So we're going to do a couple things first. We need to make sure our PEM file is in our WSL environment. Otherwise, we run into a lot of problems. So first, we're going to make a directory. I'll just make a directory called SSH in my Linux environment. Permissions denied, so we will do sudo make directory. So now we have a directory called SSH right here. So we're going to cd into SSH. Next, we're going to copy our CentOS PEM file into this SSH folder. So we will just use the cp command to copy our key from where it is currently in our downloads to the destination, which is the SSH folder we just made. So we're going to get that. We're going to find the source and destination together. So this is currently how my location of the key looks like in Windows. All we need to do is add /mount because Windows folders get mounted to our Linux environment, and you just got to change the direction of the slashes. Next, we will specify our destination, so that will just be /ssh/. So our whole command will be this, to copy our key. And if you get the permission denied, you just have to use the sudo there. So now if we click ls, our key is there. Now, if we go to the next step, first, if you try to connect, you'll get an error. So CentOS PEM, we click yes, and permission denied. So one of the reasons your permission can get denied is because you need to ensure your key is not publicly viewable. So in order to, some of you might get the key being too viewable error. So all you need to do is run this change mode operation. So again, if it's not permitted, we just go with the sudo. So now that is successfully ran. Now we'll run our command again. And again, permission is denied. That's okay. Now guys, one thing you can do to troubleshoot is we can use the -v flag, which stands for verbose. So we'll now get more output to see more deeply into what our error is. So no credential were supplied, or credentials were unavailable or inaccessible. So this can happen for two reasons, guys. So one thing I found that helps me is you put the full address of your SSH key. So that would be /ssh/CentOS PEM. Even though some of you are saying we're already in the SSH folder, I find that this resolves my errors sometimes. Again, it didn't work. This is okay. Now this is the final step, guys. So we're going to go to our instance and we're going to go to actions and we're going to go to monitor and troubleshoot. You see right now, one of the ways I fixed my error is we are trying to log in as the user EC2 user, but that's not always actually the user that's made for us. But you might be wondering, what could be the user? I don't know the default user's name on my VM. So we can go to monitor and troubleshoot and we could go to system log. So here we can find our user. So here, guys, you need to look for this rectangle. So I got to zoom out a little. I hope you can still see. So this rectangle is the key, guys. So on the VM, there will be a folder called authorized keys, and it'll be with this path. But here's the key information. The user is for this cloud user. So that's actually the user that's created on the machine. The reason why we're getting access denied is we're trying to log into a user that doesn't exist on the machine. And we can find out what user does exist, and it has been created by looking at these logs in EC2. So again, you just get there by, you'll go to your instance and you go to actions and you go to monitor and troubleshoot, and you got to select the instance, and then you go to actions, monitor and troubleshoot, and get the system log. That's the key, guys. So then we're going to scroll up and we're going to find you got to find the box that looks like this in your log. So you might need to scroll up a bunch. This box appears a couple times, but it'll definitely be there for sure. It almost always appears at the beginning, but if it doesn't appear like do a couple failed attempts to log in, then it will appear. So again, you got to find that it's the cloud user. I find cloud user is a common name. So now we're going to try this again, but we're going to swap out EC2 user for cloud user, logging into this VM. And permission denied. And if permission is still denied, wait, I have another fix for this. If we do sudo, and if permission is still denied, use sudo on your command. That's the final fix. So I'll just show you exit. So I'll just show you the last fix. If permission is still not denied, fix the cloud. You copied your PEM file into the path. The final fix and you make sure port 22 is open, guys. Otherwise your connections will be rejected. You can always console the logs. If your problem doesn't fall under what I described, use the verbose to troubleshoot. Final fix, use a sudo on your command. And there, we have now successfully connected to our CentOS VM. We can do the host name CTL command, get a bunch of information. See, that's my static host name, icon name, and you can see CentOS stream 8. And that's all my information. If you have any questions or run into any issues, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials like this one. Thank you for watching and have a great day.